So hi TImo.
Hi, hi Ed.
We are here in the lovely Alex 4 room, which is very quiet in comparison to the rest of the event, right?
Yeah, that's very nice actually.
And actually I can sit down, which is that's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you've got a new oscillator, right?
Yes, we have an oscillator.
This is your first product,
Yes, indeed.
and the company's Supercritical.
Yeah, Supercritical Synthesizers.
So do you want to just talk us through what the oscillator is and what the kind of design behind it is?
Yeah, sure. So basically what we have here as the main module, that's a 16-voice Demon Core Oscillator. So the acronym is also a clue, so it's a DCO, so it's not digital, it's analog voices, no aliasing or anything. And at its simplest, right now it's just really a sawtooth oscillator. And you can also take the pulse waveform, and that's with a pulse width control. Let's go back to the saw. So that's the simple thing. Nothing magical here. But then, as I mentioned, it's 16 voice, so we can go to 2 voices. And here we have spread control to detune them, and a core stability, which kind of mimics a VCO-like drift and kind of instability. And the number of voices, we can increase that. Drop the gain here a little, so we can go up to, for an example, we have 8 voices here now, and we can adjust the spread, we can adjust the core stability, get various kinds of detuning stacks, and obviously it doesn't go to 10, it doesn't go to 11, it goes to 16, so we're better than Spinal Tap's amplifiers. And like this. So that's really the basic gist of it. Then of course, in addition to having unison stacks with some minor detuning, we can also do an octave stack. So let's put it in 2 octaves. So now we have 8 oscillators on 2 different octaves. Or we can say spread them on 4 octaves if we like, or some rather big. Filters clipping just a little, and that of course interacts with all of these, so you can do your various sounds here. All right. Okay. So next I'm gonna show you the one extra input, which is sync trick. So that's much like oscillator sync, but the trick is that when we have 16 oscillators, it acts a bit differently to the usual thing. So let me patch this in. I've got gate from the keyboard, and when I press the key, it synchronizes all of the 16 oscillators to the same phase, and you can hear them slowly drifting out of phase for this kind of nice flanger style effect. So basically you get, a bass synthesizer without any extra envelopes or anything, or whatever you like to use it on. Okay, so, and we'll be getting back to this once we go to the expander, and actually I might want to now quickly patch in the expander, and we'll go in through MIDI next. Okay, so now we've patched in the Demon Core expander, so that gives you access via 4 CVs to up to 4 voices of polyphony, and also through MIDI. So right now, if you see the voices setting here, and pressing the function button tells you the polyphony, so we're still now at polyphony of 1, so I can just play through MIDI, nothing magical there. Let me just take off the volt per octave. Okay, and of course everything works as before. And now if we go to using showing the things here related to the expander, so actually this is the standard mode, so everything is playing all the time. And the gate mode gives you a gate based on the MIDI signal, so now there's no external gates. This is just me playing it via MIDI. Then we have an attack on the envelope, so you get envelopes per voice, you get release. And this works polyphonically, we'll go to the polyphony in just a second. Then also we have, it's actually an ADSR envelope, so with the function button again, we get ADSR behavior. And this envelope is for every voice. Then as soon we get to the polyphony part, which should be probably now. So let's. So now I've got the 16 voices as monophonic, in a monophonic setting, unison setting. So I can also just do 2 voices and or 8 voices per note and 2 notes. So we've got 5th chords here. You can play whatever you like from the MIDI. Then also we can do, of course, 3. That gives you then 5 oscillators per note still, and whatever you like, basically up to a total of 16, obviously, since that's the number of oscillators. And the envelopes work per voice, so okay, and then I'm not sure if I'm gonna introduce that specifically now. It's pretty clear we have a gate trick out here, so obviously often you'll want to trigger an envelope or something when you're playing, so this gives you a gate signal so that if at least one MIDI note is playing, it's on, and if nothing is playing, then it's off. And there we also have a mode where you can have the gate trick re-trigger on every new note, so you basically re-trigger the envelopes on every note, or alternatively it doesn't re-trigger, so you get this legato style playing for the envelope. What next? Maybe I should show you the sync thing we did with the sync trick input. With the MIDI, we can do that polyphonically, so per voice, just a combination of buttons. When this is blinking, the sync is on. So let's turn the attack time to 0. So now you can hear the sync affecting the waveforms. They start out in phase, and then they slowly drift out. You get the flanger style effect, and you get that. Specifically, so it works completely polyphonically. Further, we have a sync time control. So now the notes are synchronized to the beginning of the note. They start out in phase, you get this click. We can also make it so that they will be in sync after a while. So this gives you kind of a time travel opportunity, if you like. We can also make it so that they were in sync a while ago. So you can kind of reduce the click if that's something you prefer. Then for the FM or the 1 volt per octave inputs, we have an amount control. So I don't have CVs here, but it should be clear how they work. So anywhere here, you get some amount of modulation, and at absolute maximum, it's an exact 1 volt per octave. So then you can control this chromatically. What else? So I quickly mentioned already the stream mode, so you can use it for droning, or when you're controlling via these, you don't get gate, so you'll want to use it so they're playing all the time. And with the gate mode, you get gating from MIDI, as I mentioned before. And then there are some hidden modes. You can change these to actually control the things like the sync time and so on. You'll see that on our website soon. Soon enough, once we publish the manual. There's the obvious CV, stability controls core stability, spread PVM CV controls spread in saw waves, or pulse width if you're using a pulse wave. FM is linear FM, and then the volt per octave we used already. That's obvious.
So when is it ready now?
It's in production now, and we're first timers, so there's always things can happen. But at the moment, it seems that we'll be shipping in June. And it should be coming to a modular dealer near you. It's distributed by Alex4, so it should be available pretty well anywhere where you expect to find modules in general.
And what is the kind of price point on
the price,
oscillator and the expander?
Yeah, so the price point is $490 for the oscillator and $280 for the Demon Core expander. That's the EU pricing. So the US pricing we don't know exactly yet, but it should be obviously something similar.
Excellent. TImo, thank you very much.
Thank you.